welcome back. My name is Dana. This channel is all about SMS beauty, skincare, makeup, sunscreen. Today is the middle one. We're talking about makeup, but in particular, we are talking about tubing mascaras. So I have a new tubing mascara. Ta-da! This is the Blinc. What's the name of it? I feel like, oh, it's right here. It's called Lash Extension Tubing Mascara. Okay. I hadn't even looked at the name. I knew that this one was kind of in the same vein as the Thrive and some of the others, but wow, that name is like, yeah, very obvious. So this is the Blinc new mascara. It's $26. That is the price of all of their mascaras, I believe. Pretty much the same price as a lot of the other kind of like high-end tubing mascaras, like the Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions, which I'm now realizing is very similar in name, is I think $24. So about the same amount. When I first got this, now this is probably like the fourth or fifth Blinc mascara that I've gotten. They gave me PR one time and then like never responded again. So Blinc, if you're seeing this, I purchased this on my own, but like PR would have been nice. Okay, not gonna lie. But I have purchased many of their others. The Ultra Volume was the one that came out, I think 2 years ago. I believe it was 2020. And I really did like that one. It did give you just like this like really amplified mascara look. But I bought two of them because they ran out, or like not, it didn't run out, but the product dried up really quickly, like not my favorite in that sense. Like I actually like the mascara. If you can use it really quickly, it's okay, but it kind of went bad too quickly. So I'm giving this one a try. I've worn it for a week or two now, and I have pretty decent thoughts on it, but I did want to start by kind of comparing it to these three because it's very similar. So obviously the name is the biggest one. This is called the Lash Extension Tubing Mascara. Now, if that doesn't make you think of the Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions, I don't know what will, but they also have not quite the exact same packaging, but they have pretty much the same wand. So I'm going to insert some B-roll footage here because there's a pretty big similarity between these four. So we have the new Blinc one. We have the tried and true Thrive, everyone's, well, a lot of people's favorite. Then we have the Hourglass, which is kind of a dupe for, I say dupe, it's not, because it's supposed to be more or less expensive if it's a dupe. But these two were kind of like the two that always kind of came up because they were so similar. And I have a video just comparing these two. I will link it above. And then there was the new one, which is the Tartelette Tubing Mascara, which I also have a video on. I will link it if you care. It's not a tubing mascara, but it looks exactly the same as these. And these three, not the Blinc one, they have the same packaging. Like they have the same weightiness, they have the same size. The brush is almost identical. The Thrive or the Blinc one is a little different. It's a little smaller. The packaging is lighter. It doesn't feel as kind of luxe. I don't mind that. That's not like why I buy it. I buy it for performance, but there are kind of some similarities and some differences. So I'll insert that footage just so you can see the wands up close, and then we'll get into the review. Okay, so these are the four tubing mascaras. This one is the new Blinc one. It's a little thinner. Then we have the second one, which is the Thrive. You can see that it's tapered. They're all plastic bristles. The next one, I'm going to switch the order, sorry. This one is the Hourglass in the gold. And you can see how incredibly similar that is. And then the last one, I'm only putting it in here just because it looks the same, but this one is the Tarte. It's not actually a tubing mascara, so I'm going to take that away. But as you can see, the first one, this is the Blinc. It's a little bit thinner, the bristles, whereas these two, I would say, are almost identical. So you might be getting a little bit less volume with this one, which is fine. And you can see how it applied in my video, but I just wanted to show you a close-up of all the wands. Okay, so I have some makeup on. I'm also kind of like sweating right now. I don't know why. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. If you've never watched any of my tubing mascara videos before, I like to zoom in so you can see like really up close. And then I will show either removal or talk about the removal at the end of the day when I take it off. So let's zoom in and then I'll talk through the specs of the mascara. All right, I'm gonna do this eye off camera and then come back to show you what it looks like. All right, we finally focused. This is the finished look. Now, I think you're gonna get pretty good definition and volume from this mascara. You can see my eyes look pretty good. If you obviously put well, maybe it's not obvious, but if you put some more eyeliner on, it'll give you an even more voluminous kind of look. I have no eyeliner on today, just a little bit of shadow. And that is something I'm gonna touch about when I talk through the rest of it with you in 1 second. So let's zoom out. All right, let's see what the Blinc people say about this. So, a tubing mascara that builds the appearance of striking length and extreme definition with lash benefits. They say it's volumizing, curling, and lengthening, and long wearing. And then kind of the highlighted ingredients are biotin, which they say helps prevent hair loss by supporting the structure of eyelashes. Castor seed oil, that's like been one of those kind of, I guess, myths of, I don't know if it's actually true that it helps build or grow your lashes. I've never seen results from it, but it's just me. And then shea butter, which is nourishing for the eyelashes. So pretty normal, nothing too crazy. And then do they say anything? I mean, they just say, like how to apply mascara. We all know how to do that. It is $26. I think the Thrive, like I said, is $24, and same with the Hourglass and the Tarte as well. So it's a few dollars more, but if this is the one that kind of calls your name or like works for you, $2 I don't think is that big of a difference. But I did want to kind of walk through what I think of this and kind of how I think of it in comparison to any of these, or all of them maybe. I actually like this one probably the most out of all of theirs. I did like the Ultra Volume one, but like I said, it dried out. It just kind of went bad within a few months. I can't continue to purchase things that just don't last. And it does give you very intense volume. So this one I think is a little, it doesn't look natural at all, but I think this is a little bit more my style. If you really like that really big voluminous lashes, the Ultra Volume one is a good option. But I think in comparison to, I'm not gonna talk about the Tarte one. It's not a tubing mascara. It shouldn't be in the conversation. So I'm going to talk about the Thrive and the Hourglass. Now, out of these two, I kind of say just go with the Thrive. For me, it gives me the definition and the volume that I really want, more so than this one. I sometimes have issues with this one. Sometimes it leaves my lashes looking kind of limp and just not great. Whereas every single time I use this, it works beautifully. People ask what I'm wearing, that kind of thing. But where I think the Blinc might come into play is if you're going to go with one of these two, let's say you went with the Thrive, it is a wetter consistency and formula, whereas the Blinc one it's not dry in the sense a lot of people like their mascara a few weeks old. It's not that sense. It's just dry in the sense that it goes on really lightly. It doesn't pull your lashes down because it's so wet. The Thrive, people who have kind of sparse, thin, short lashes, this can be too much. It can be too heavy. It doesn't make the curl last. It just kind of pulls them down. I think this is going to be a good option if that's you. Now, if you have longer lashes and you can kind of hold a curl throughout the day, the Thrive still takes the cake in my book. Nothing has unseated it for a long time. But I think this is a very close second, and I'm going to continue to use it. I have no problem using it. There's nothing wrong with it. I did wear it though, but I will say the very first day that I wore it, I threw it on because that's what I do. I got it. I had no makeup on. I put it on. I went out to dinner with my mom. I got back in the car at the end of the night. I was in air conditioning. It's hot, but I was in air conditioning. I looked in the rearview mirror and I was appalled, aghast, whatever the word, because I had just black. And I was first of all, why didn't my mom say anything? Second of all, why did this do this? Why did it do me so dirty? I don't know. I have not had that issue since then, but it was something to keep in mind. And I think, honestly, it's probably something to do with I probably have sunscreen on, or a moisturizer. So I think if you're gonna be wearing it alone and maybe in a hot weather kind of climate, just be careful. Maybe put some translucent powder. If you don't wear anything else, just put a little bit on your lid, just so you don't get that transfer. It shouldn't do that, but it might. So if that is you, try the translucent powder. It's not that big of a deal. It'll still work. But again, I haven't had that issue since, and I have worn it on days where I didn't wear any other makeup, so it might just be a one-off. Blinc usually does a pretty good job of not transferring. The Ultra Volume one is actually one of my least transfer resistant ones. So this one is a step down from that, but good in its own way. So if I had to kind of pick out of the three, well, Thrive is always at the top, and then like Hourglass was second, but I would say this one moves into second. Let's just put it there. And the Thrive is still such a good option, but I understand that some people just really don't like it. And I do think that the new Blinc one is kind of gonna come and maybe like make it work for some people who can't use the Thrive. So this is the order, and this is how it shall remain until I change my mind. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. I mean, it's a tubing mascara, and it is a tubing mascara. I will show you the removal at the end of the night, but I've worn it like a week or two now, and it removes just beautifully. So, you know, if that is important to you, which it should be for a tubing mascara, it is tried and true tubing. So I will go ahead and insert the footage of me taking it off, but thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. Okay, so I actually had the mascara on for longer than I thought today. It's Sunday and I didn't want to really be wearing makeup, but I had a lot of things to do, so I've got a bucket of water, like literally just Tupperware, and I'm going to show you what it looks like to remove this tubing mascara. I don't know why I went to go like that because it is a true tubing mascara, but I'm going to zoom you in a little bit just so you can see the final removal. Okay, but as you can see, it's not leaving any raccoon eyes around my face. It's coming off with just water. Like, that's what a tubing mascara does. And I've never had anything less from Blinc. Their mascaras are 100% all tubing. So if you're ever worried and you just want one that's 100% tubing, I would go with them. But ow. The problem is I wear contacts, so this is like starting to irritate my eyes, but that's just my problem. That's not the mascaras. All right, so I'm gonna leave it off. I'm gonna leave it here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.